my clients, this episode will be going out on Facebook in January to give the yearly update. For my podcast members, this will be going out later in the year. I want other veterinary businesses to see how we are adapting and hoping to grow our clinic so that those of you at those businesses will have ideas for growing your clinics as well. Welcome to another episode of Vet Talk, the veterinary podcast, where we will be talking about the changes we are making in the clinic. First, a big thanks to my clients. We are happy that you use us for our services and trust us with the care for your animals. We are happy to have you grow with us through the years, and we look forward to continuing to provide quality service. Each year we see what you have completed and asked for in the last year and try to plan to accommodate you in the upcoming year. The decisions aren't always easy, but they are all made with the intent to be able to provide the best care for your pets and for providing our staff with a quality place to work so they can continue to offer quality care to your pets. All of us at the clinic recognize that it's your decision where you bring your animals for their health care and are honored that you chose us to work with to provide such care. Throughout each year, we strive to become better at what we do, and 2025 will be no exception. What's new in the upcoming year? First, we have been growing and are looking for a relief vet to help fill in. If you see new faces, please welcome them to our crew. If you are a vet in the area and interested in being a relief vet, reach out to us and we'll start by getting you a tour of the place. This year will likely be tumultuous for multiple reasons, and we are trying to plan ahead to navigate it with as little turbulence as possible. One of the things we have on our radar is prices. To start out, we have had to raise some prices, but are happy to say we could lower others. We have been striving to keep prices low, but multiple pressures from outside our control have caused increases in prices. One thing we have been monitoring is to see how the promised tariffs will affect our business. I have a link on the episode description for more discussion on that. We have been reaching out to many of the companies we use, and they have told us their products are manufactured in the USA and do not expect more than normal price increases. However, many companies have had unclear answers because they themselves were unclear what the effects would be. While we reevaluate prices and strive to keep things as fair as possible, we do know certain things are going up more than expected. For example, white goods, or the cost for syringes and needles and gauze, is typically from products sourced and made in China specifically. We have seen a 33% price increase in those products in the last year from the previously enacted tariffs. And with the upcoming promised tariffs, which have been reported to be higher than the original tariffs, we could see even more of an increase with those products. We don't charge for many of these items individually, but may have to increase other prices to compensate for their increase. Also, companies were not always as clear if components of making their product would go up, requiring their overall cost to increase. We always strive to run an efficient business to make sure we will be in business for you for years to come, and we try to make sure there are not gigantic price fluctuations. However, because this year could be more chaotic, I stress to please try to make a budget for your animals, especially for emergency situations, and try not to lapse on preventative care. We have seen a number of Lyme disease cases from people not on tick preventatives, and a horrible number of parvo cases from both vaccinated and non-vaccinated animals. The vaccinated animals were more likely to be the ones that lived through that disease. Preventative care can decrease the need for emergency services and your overall price for veterinary services. On another note, we will be opening up farm calls. In recent years, because of demand and expense, we had to reduce farm calls because so many people were wanting to be seen that we were scheduling farm calls a month or more out. And the cost of the farm call in the clinic made the price that we had to pass on to you, the consumer, unreasonable. It greatly helped when people could haul to the office, allowing us to keep the price down for you and allowing us to see more animals that need it seen. Our restrictions for farm calls were for cattle, groups of 5 or more, or down animals. We found this was very effective. We have helped more patients because of these rules, but have had perhaps the greatest pushback from people afraid or unable to haul their animals. Because of this feedback, and because overall, albeit not universally, the economy has been good to the veterinary profession in the past few years, we are now able to offer farm calls for less than 5 animals. There will be a reduced rate for more than 5 animals. This also will allow us to lower the cost for at-home euthanasias. For our farm calls, excluding euthanasias, we will still require at least one large animal for the farm call to be booked, as this is a service for large animals. If you want specifics on the pricing, please visit our website, lickingvalleyvet.com. Now, this decision was after much debate. We have seen a dramatic drop in our large animal services, specifically horse services. This was not unexpected, as we have been watching national, state, and local trends for years, and we're seeing a decrease in Coggins and vaccinations, which we use as our prime indices for future services that may be needed. But we wanted a little more information, so we sent a survey out to our clients. One of the reasons we do not feel, at least in our region, that our horse services are growing was confirmed by our survey, which showed 92.9% of respondents have had horses for over 10 years. 7.1% have had horses for 2 to 5 years. What this is telling us is less people are acquiring horses in this region. We don't have new horse owners, so our pool of clients is shrinking. From experience, we have found our older horse clients use the vet less because they have the experience, or think they have the experience, to handle more on their own. They are also less active with their horses, as some of these clients are reaching an age where horse activities or horses don't suit the changes in their lifestyle. 50% of respondents have their horses as pasture pets. While we still recommend a certain level of care, we all know people don't get as much for the horse they see out the window in the pasture as the horse that they are working with every day. We also saw that only 15.4% of respondents had horses that did not leave the farm under any circumstances. So the majority of horses needing care could be hauled to the clinic. Because of this, we wondered and discussed if farm calls were even something that needed to be continued. Ultimately, we have, as discussed, decided to continue them. I was also personally surprised when running the numbers this year versus those last year at the prices we were able to offer our farm calls for. If you have a group of 5 or more animals, our farm calls were in the price range of what 57% of horse owners thought appropriate. If you have less than 5 animals, the price is where 28.6% of owners thought appropriate. While still not making everyone happy, I thought the price would fall in the highest range where 14.3% of owners thought the price was appropriate. So I was happy to be able to offer a lower price. I do want to note the price of the office exam was well within everyone's budget. We can keep exams at the office at the ranges of price people expect, but when figuring the maintenance of the truck, the salaries younger veterinarians are demanding, and paying staff for the time in the truck, we lost money on farm calls for individual animals. We found seeing 5 or more animals offset those costs. Through a good economy and some luck for this year, we can start seeing individual animals again. We still recommend hauling to the clinic for finances and a better ability to treat your and your neighbor's animals efficiently and effectively. Please remember, while we are scheduling farm calls for individual animals, farm calls will likely still book out. If you call with a sick animal, we may still require you to haul to the clinic if it is needed seen urgently. I do want to address one rumor going around. Multiple people have said they have heard that we don't see large animals anymore. That is entirely not true. We've been confused when multiple people have told us this. Our restrictions are minimal. Cattle clients have to be clients with an active VCPR. We have been pushing to see horses and other large animals at the clinic, both to provide better services and keep cost for you reasonable. But we have not stopped seeing large animals. We think some of the misunderstanding may have come from the differences in large animal and small animal care. A few years ago, we stopped answering the ER phone after hours. We still stay late if you have an emergency, but realized that there were emergency clinics that can handle after-hours emergencies. For the small animals, we have clinics both in Cincinnati and Lexington as options. And that's what they do. The goal of their clinic is to see emergencies when other clinics are shut down. In large animals, we are blessed to have Lexington, the horse capital of the world, close to us. While it is not the distance that makes sense to drive to for regular care, they have bigger clinics down there. Instead of our clinic being on call 24/7, when we close, we can direct you to an emergency clinic. They can see you in their emergency, and when everything is complete, send us records letting us know what happened, just the same as is often completed with small animals. Now this makes sense. 41.7% of our survey said that their emergency arose at night and no vet was around, so they ended up not using a vet. To a point, this is a failure of the veterinary industry in training clients. While we are used to emergency clinics for our small animals, the Lexington horse hospitals are really just big hospitals for horses and have not gotten good at sending records and staying in touch with a referring veterinarian. So while local vets are like, great, we can refer to a big hospital, these big hospitals just see clients coming to their doors, and clients think they're just going to another clinic, not going to an emergency clinic intent on returning to their primary care vet in the morning. That is something that clients need to realize. When we put up a place to go after hours, that is your primary care vet taking care of you. They know you will see emergencies which occur in the off hours, and they know there are qualified clinics you can go to. We realized with one veterinarian, it didn't make sense to have 24/7 emergency services. A larger clinic with multiple doctors and a larger staff would make sense to have an after-hour emergency service, but not a solo practitioner. That is why we as solo practitioners, or small practices with one or two vets, take advantage of the local emergency clinics. Make sure when you go to an emergency clinic, have your records transferred back to your primary care vet when you leave. Large animal hospitals aren't as trained at this, and you asking that your primary vet kept informed goes a long way to being able to provide you good service. Also at my website, I have that list of referral institutions, but I also have a list of things that should be considered an emergency and things that could probably wait until we are back in the morning to see your animal. So use the website to help you triage what you need to do to care for your animal in an after-hours emergency. Cattle clients are still hurting in our off hours. While the trend of equine vets is a decrease in number, cattle vets are even less. I'm not sure how accurate this is, but this year I heard that there were only 52 cattle vets in the state of Kentucky. I know of only 3, including myself in northern Kentucky, that may see cattle. While after-hour care for cattle clients is admittedly very limited, we have made improvements for routine care. We have a new cattle form in an online format that you can fill out when you need cattle supplies. This should hopefully streamline the ordering process. If you aren't comfortable with a computer, we still have the paper form, or are happy to schedule a consultation where we sit down and determine what your cattle needs are. Overall, there will also be a lot of things at the clinic that stay the same. We still offer office appointments with our veterinary staff when you aren't wanting an exam from the veterinarian. This is great when you have a blood draw need nails trimmed or anal glands worked on, or just want some vaccines. While we know an annual exam is beneficial for catching medical issues, our office appointments without veterinary exams have helped a lot of people get the basics they want, and those appointments are all that is necessary for things that have already been discussed with your veterinarian, like continuing Librela or Cytopoint shots. We do still work on animals in the back while you wait in the exam rooms and have consistently found this has been very effective for overall care and handling of animals. One thing on my staff's wish list is we wish we could convince clients how we would prefer large dogs be muzzled upon entering the clinic. There are very few exceptions to this. While we sometimes need muzzles with the Napoleon syndrome small lap dogs, large dogs can be very dangerous. Even the best dog may not respond well to a needle poke, and an injury from a large dog could be career or life-ending. The only dog I'll throw a shout out to is Ellie. If her owner is listening, she's perfect and we love her. She does not need a muzzle. Otherwise, if your dog is over 50 pounds and you bring it muzzled to the clinic, you're going to score some bonus points with the staff. We are looking forward to an exciting year. We recognize your patronage as clients has been good to us, and we hope we can continue to provide quality service at a reasonable price so that you are excited to continue to use us. We hope that the changes we make will benefit you as our clients and make the business run more efficient. I have highlighted our biggest changes in this discussion, but have to point out, because of the hardworking and talented staff that we have, there are a lot of things that just run smoothly at the clinic and we just don't need to update. As always, with your interactions with us, I want to increase your knowledge base so you can make good decisions to care for your animals. Check out the podcast for more information on a variety of topics and watch Facebook for things going on at the clinic. Let's make the next year a good one, where we all work to grow above mediocrity and excel at the things that we choose to pursue. I'm Dr. Nathan. Thanks for listening. I hope our discussions are valuable to you and aid in giving perspective. If you want to contact us, please reach out to theveterinarypodcast@gmail.com. You can find a complete list of the podcast episodes on SoundCloud. If you find this information helpful and want more content, please join our Patreon, patreon.com/theveterinarypodcast. And don't forget to follow our Facebook page, facebook.com/theveterinarypodcast. As always, thanks for listening, and I hope this information is helpful to you. If you do find it helpful, please like it, share it, so other people may find it helpful as well.